Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urios Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons & Dragons. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are talking about the spell Blade Barrier. We're giving this spell an A-. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I've got another video coming out. All right, we're giving this one an A-. It's a pretty simple, straightforward spell. It's a pretty good wall. Doesn't stop things from going through it, but they don't really want to go through it. So let's talk about it. It is a 6th-level spell. It takes one action. It has a range of 90 feet, verbal and somatic components. It has a duration of 10 minutes, and its concentration. I'm kind of iffy about things that have durations of 10 minutes. Most combats don't last more than 4 rounds, so a duration of a minute for something that's going to be used in combat is pretty sufficient. But 10 minutes isn't really enough to do anything very long-term with it. An hour is better, but, you know, if you're trying to run away from enemies and get away, then maybe 10 minutes is okay, and it's going to give you enough time to get forward and to create this barrier. So you create a vertical wall of razor-sharp blades of magical energy. So that's really important. They're not normal. They're magical. They're made of magical energy. And the reason I say that is later on we'll talk about that. So the wall appears within range and lasts for the duration. Again, you know, 10 minutes may or may not be enough. You can make a straight wall 100 feet long, 20 feet high, 5 feet thick. So it has to be completely straight. It can't curve or turn or go around corners or anything. Or a ringed wall up to 60 feet in diameter. That's 30-foot radius. That's huge. That's really, really big. 20 feet high, 5 feet thick. The wall provides 3/4 cover to creatures behind it. So if you put something behind the wall, then you yourself will have 3/4 cover. And let's go through what that means really quick. 3/4 cover. 3/4 cover is a +5 bonus to AC and Dex saves. AC and Dex saves. And there's a reason I got the fighter up. We're going to talk about that. So when this is what makes this spell really good. I like these sentences here, this phrase here. There are many spells in Dungeons & Dragons that do not have this phrase in them, and it really hurts the spell when they don't. When the creature enters the wall for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. So when you push something into the wall, that's the first time on a turn that they're going to take some damage. Or when they start their turn. So which means when you drop the wall down, they're not taking any damage until they start their turn. Then they're going to take the damage. So the creature must make a Dex saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 6d10 slashing damage. And on average, what is that? That is 33 points of damage. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much damage. So that would be 16 points of damage. Now, at the beginning of the turn, you want to get this spell on as many creatures as you can possibly get it on. The objective of the spell is to do damage, period. That's it. And then it's got some secondary objectives in it, you know, like provide cover, prevent things from moving forward. I mean, it's difficult terrain, so it's going to cost 10 feet of movement to go through it instead of 5 feet. You know, there are those things that are there. They're not the main gist of the spell. The main gist or objective of the spell is to do damage. I think the second objective of the spell, if you're going to use this in combat, is to make sure things stay in the wall or make them go through the wall. So you're going to get the best bang for your buck if you push something into the wall on your turn. Then it's going to take damage right when it goes in the wall. And then it's going to take damage at the start of its turn again. If it fails 2 saving throws, that's 66 points of damage on average. So when a creature enters the wall for the first time and starts its turn. So how do we get it into the wall? One of the other things I do want to mention as well is because it's an evocation spell, if a wizard could get this spell, which is not likely, then it could use evocation. But again, this spell is only usable by clerics. However, a bard can get this spell with magical secrets. And a bard that is, say, Bard of Eloquence can cause people to have penalties to their saving throw against this if you really want to get something to go. Okay, so how do you get things into the wall? Well, we got the fighter, and the fighter battle master has some maneuvers, and they've got one great maneuver called pushing attack. On a failed save, you push the target up to 15 feet away. Remember, you can push things 5 feet with a push action. That's an athletics check versus athletics or acrobatics. So there is that. Dragonborn, one of the best Dragonborn abilities in the game is the metallic Dragonborn enervating breath or the repulsion breath. The repulsion breath will push 20 feet and knock them prone. So not only are they going to go into it, they're going to start their turn prone and stand up, and they have to stand up and use half their move, and then they have to get out. Now, the only problem with this repulsion breath is it's only usable once per long rest. Another good thing is Thunder Wave. You got to be pretty close. So creatures in a 15-foot cone are pushed 10 feet away. And, of course, our favorite spell, Telekinesis, where we can grab a creature and just move it into, and we can restrain it so it can't get out. You can move it into the blade barrier. So when it goes in, it's going to take that 60-10 slashing damage. You can restrain it so its move is 0 and hold it there inside the blade barrier where it's going to get cut up like being in a lawnmower or in a blender. Now, and this is another reason why I'm giving this spell an A-, because clerics can't really do telekinesis. That's not really one of their spells. But it's a good combo, between two different characters. You got the bard and the wizard maybe, and the wizard can do that, or the sorcerer can do that. So you need to really talk with your party about what you're going to do. And, if you got a cleric there that's got blade barrier and you've got somebody who's got some of these pushy abilities, you need to talk to them and say, I got this spell, blade barrier. I think one of the main objectives of this is keeping something in there so it can get blended up and take a bunch of damage. Is there any way we could push it in and keep it there, so that it does take all of this damage? So that is pretty much it. That's blade barrier in a nutshell. It's not a super complicated spell, and like I said, its main objective is to do damage. All right, that's what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.